Across the misty highlands of Scotland, the green hills of Ireland, and the broad plains of Gaul lived a people whom history tried to silence. Yet their presence lingers, in language, in art, in myth. The Celts, not an empire, but a network of fiercely independent tribes connected by shared culture, language, and religion. Unlike the Romans or Greeks, the Celts left no written histories of their own. What we know comes from archaeology and the pens of their enemies. But their story is no less grand. A rise to power, a clash with empires, and a legacy that refuses to fade. This is a new episode in our historical deep dive series. Don't forget to subscribe for more ancient mysteries and forgotten legacies. Now let's step into a time of myth, metal, and memory. Celtic culture traces its origins to the Hallstatt culture, circa 800 to 450 BCE, in what is now Austria, and later the La Tène culture, circa 450 to 50 BCE, along the northern Alps. These people mastered iron, forging swords, tools, and ornate jewelry, and built hillforts like Heuneberg, Germany, and Dun Aengus, Ireland. By the 4th century BCE, Celtic tribes had spread across much of Europe, from Spain, the Celtiberians, to the Balkans, even reaching Anatolia, where the Galatians settled after a dramatic migration. They clashed with, and terrified, their neighbors. In 390 BCE, a Celtic warband under Brennus sacked Rome, a humiliation that haunted the Romans for centuries. Later, other Celtic tribes confronted Alexander the Great's forces in the Balkans and even fought as mercenaries in Hellenistic armies. Their warriors were bold, often described by Greek and Roman writers as fighting naked, painted in woad, wielding iron swords and oval shields. The iconic torque, a rigid neck ring, was not just jewelry, but a badge of honor. Celtic society was tribal, but organized. Chieftains ruled over clans, and a powerful class of Druids served as spiritual leaders, judges, astronomers, and law-keepers. Julius Caesar himself noted that Druids were trained for up to 20 years, memorizing sacred knowledge. Their religion revered nature, the otherworld, and cyclical time. Sacred groves, springs, and animals featured heavily in ritual. Evidence from sites like Glauberg, Germany, and Tara, Ireland, shows a complex belief system with elaborate burials and solar alignments. Their art, especially in the La Tène style, dazzled the ancient world. Curved lines, animal motifs, and abstract forms decorated everything from war gear to ritual cauldrons, like the magnificent Gundestrup Cauldron found in Denmark but made by Celtic artisans. The defining moment came in the 1st century BCE, when the Celts' greatest threat emerged: Rome. Julius Caesar's Gallic Wars, 58 to 50 BCE, decimated the independent Celtic tribes of Gaul. Despite brilliant resistance by the chieftain Vercingetorix, who united warring tribes and held out at the siege of Alesia, the Romans ultimately triumphed. Gaul was absorbed into the empire, its tribal structures dismantled, and Romanization began. Soon after, in 43 CE, the Roman invasion of Britannia began. Though tribes like the Iceni, led by the legendary Queen Boudica, fought fiercely, most of southern Britain was eventually Romanized. Only in Wales, Scotland, and Ireland did Celtic culture remain largely untouched by Rome. But this was not a total collapse, it was a transformation. Many Celts joined the Roman army, became citizens, and even rose through the ranks. In the margins, the Celtic spirit endured. The Celts didn't vanish. Their languages, Irish, Scottish Gaelic, Welsh, Breton, Cornish, and Manx, are still spoken today. Their festivals, like Samhain, survive in modern forms like Halloween. And archaeological finds continue to unearth their world. In southern England, the vast ramparts of Maiden Castle stand as one of Europe's largest and most formidable hillforts, a testament to Celtic engineering and community life. Farther east, in Germany, the Glauberg burial site, a life-sized sandstone statue, offering rare insight into Celtic aristocracy. And in the Thames, the exquisitely crafted Battersea Shield emerged, with artistic sophistication and ceremonial importance. Even classical sources from Caesar Strabo and Diodorus Siculus, though biased, give us insight into how outsiders viewed these mysterious tribes. The 19th century Celtic revival brought new attention to the forgotten Celts. In Ireland, the movement intertwined with the fight for independence. In Brittany, Scotland, and Wales, it sparked language and cultural preservation efforts. Today, the spirit of the Celts lives on through the stories we read, the games we play, and the music we hear. Novels like The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley and Bernard Cornwell's Warlord Chronicles reimagine Arthurian legends through a Celtic lens. In the world of gaming, Celtic tribes battle once more in epic franchises like Total War, Civilization the Size, and Age of Empires. Film and series like The Secret of Kells, Britannia, and Braveheart explore Celtic themes, Druidic mysticism, and tribal identity. And in music and art, Celtic punk, folk, and New Age music, alongside ubiquitous Celtic knotwork, keep the aesthetic alive. The Celts remind us that not all great civilizations leave behind golden cities or written records. Some leave songs, symbols, and stories that outlast empires. They were never one empire but many tribes, not forgotten, but folded into the fabric of European history. And today, the Celts rise again, not on the battlefield but in music halls, festivals, classrooms, and storytelling. If you've stayed with us this far, you're now part of the journey to uncover forgotten civilizations. Subscribe for more deep dives, and let us know in the comments. Which Celtic myth or tribe fascinates you the most?